Let's go over to Wyatt in Florida. Welcome to the Karen Hunter Show.
Hey, Karen.
Hi, Wyatt.
I don't usually listen to this show, but I was tuning and you were asking that other gentleman what makes him
Wait before we
white.
go into
So
this. Wait before we go into this. How do you just tune in? How do you find us?
I was just sitting here waiting to pick up my daughter from school, and I just happened to switch over. So,
Okay. I guess that could happen.
Cool.
Okay, so go ahead.
so I guess the first thing is what makes you black.
What makes me black is that there's such a thing as white. My blackness is only in juxtaposition of whiteness. There was no such thing as blackness before there was whiteness, which was a made-up construct to put people who aren't white into a particular category to justify a system of slavery.
I'm Mets, if I got to choose.
Wow,
That's my color.
What color is
that
that?
was
Plaid?
shocking.
Blue and orange.
Oh, I like
Secondly,
that. Wait,
who,
well, are you okay with that
secondly, who
definition?
brought,
I'm sorry.
no,
so I didn't
that's
give you the
really-
answer
that
that you were
really
looking
got
for, huh?
that,
Because I was able to actually respond. That messed you up.
Please.
I got an answer. You're not going to filibuster. Nope. Sorry. He didn't like that answer. So now he's like, let me see what else I can get her on. Go ahead, try, Wyatt. Try it. Go
Karen.
ahead.
That wasn't an answer, Karen.
That was a great answer.
Why are you so angry, Karen?
I am not angry
Oh,
at
now
all.
she's angry.
Oh, I'm
my-
angry. I'm an angry person. I'm not angry
Secondly-
at all, actually.
Secondly,
No. I
secondly,
answered
who
you.
Brought,
What?
secondly,
No, this is
who
thirdly
brought
now, because the first one was
slaves to
why
this
am I
country,
black?
Karen?
Second was why am I angry? Third one is who brought what?
Who brought slaves to this country, Karen?
What
The Portuguese.
Thank you.
It was
The first.
Muslims,
No,
Portuguese,
What?
and blacks that brought
no, it was
No.
this country.
it was the
No.
Portuguese and the Spaniards. The people that you're talking about didn't have boats. All right? Like if you're gonna talk about that way, we can at least understand like topography, right? Like to bring slaves from Africa to South Carolina, you need a boat. And the Portuguese and the Spanish were the people with the boats. So that's how it started.
Ellie, why are you so angry?
Because it's because you can go so far with these people,
Why
but then
are you
like
angry?
they're just like basic there's just physics at that point, right?
No, but before we even get into answering his questions,
The
he didn't-
Muslims
wait,
weren't
hold
coming
on.
with a magic carpet with 13 African slaves. That's not how it happened.
But even
Sorry.
14th century, 15th century, 16th century Muslim is not the same. They're conflating, right? What's Wyatt's goal, right? He wasn't just sitting in the car. He just happened to turn to this channel. That's not what happened. There is a pointed attack. He wants us to be quiet. He needs us to not keep talking about this. So his goal is to try to call up and discredit us, right? Or try to get some points in. And as long as he gets some points in, they win, right? Because they got their talking points down. This whole Muslims and the Africans enslaved. No, what we're talking about, if you read Wyatt and others, 1619 actually lays it out pretty well in the New York Times. Now, you may not think the New York Times is a great bastion of literature or news or media, but it actually did a great job in chronicling the whole systemic history of slavery. And if you don't want to read the New York Times, The Half Has Never Been Told by Edward Baptist. Edward Baptist, a historian, perfect layout of the economic impact of enslavement on this country's founding.
The other goal I think Wyatt had, and I'm better now, is that you see this a lot with again these Trump supporters. They want to find a way to absolve the white American person for the sins of slavery, right? And so anything else you can throw against the window. Oh, it's Muslims. Oh, it was actually black people back in Africa who did the first enslavement. Like anything you can throw to absolve white Americans from this original sin is what they're about. And if they can't absolve it at the beginning of slavery, then they try to absolve it during slavery. Actually, it wasn't that bad. Actually, they got 3 meals a day. Actually, they got housing. I mean, you've seen white people make this argument. And if they can't absolve it with the beginning or the middle, then they try to absolve it with the end. Well, white people died to free the slaves, which is not what the Civil War was about. But and then we gave you the Civil Rights Act. We gave you the Civil Rights Act as if you had to give us the rights that we should have been granted when we showed up in this country, right? Like they're always trying to say that slavery wasn't so bad, oppression wasn't so bad.
Or my people never had. When I came here through Ellis Island, I had nothing to do with it. Why do I have to deal with it? Well, because there was a system designed around race to always castigate and put people of color at the bottom of the rung.
And you still benefit from it.
Period. Whether you got here yesterday or 2 weeks ago.
If you are white in this country, you benefit from the system of slavery that we've had. If you are black in this country, at some level, you benefit from the fact that we are an economic superpower, in part because of unpaid labor that we had the option to have. Option is not the word I was looking for, but you know what I mean.
I know what you mean.
As opposed to some of our developing nation friends who do not have that unpaid labor force to industrialize. So even as a live modern American, we have a benefit from our history of slavery, which means we still have a debt to be paid to the people who suffered under it.
And why do better? Because ultimately, this is a country, a nation that is going to crumble if we don't get together. So instead of calling up this show, trying to poke holes in an argument and trying to make your case, how about being a good citizen?
Do better by learning what floats and what doesn't.
Oh, that would be helpful. All right.